Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot mother freaking topics. Okay, peeps, if you are tuned into this segment of my channel, that means you're tuned into the healing segment, and we're now going to read one of my Dear Deidre letters. Before we do so, if you are new to my channel, please make sure you hit the subscription button and turn your notification bells on. To all of my new subbies, hey, I love you, thank you, I appreciate you, and welcome to my world. Please make sure you hit the thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen, because that is your free way of supporting my channel. And let's get started on this Dear Deidre letter. Dear Deidre, hey girl, just running to you for a little advice and insight because I know you're not going to steer me wrong. So I've been friends with my homegirl for almost all my life, 39 years. We are actually friends turned family. My kids call her auntie. Her kids call me auntie. My mom is like her aunt and hers is like mine. But here's the problem. I must admit I'm very protective over my friends. At my old age, I would still go upside people's head for her. And since COVID, we both have put on weight. My best friend and myself have decided to go on this weight loss journey together virtually. And I want to thank you for the inspiration to get it together because you are the bomb, boo. Thank you. I have noticed that when there's anyone else around besides us three, her mom, my aunt, stays saying some crazy foul-ish. For example, my homegirl can put a shirt on that she hasn't been able to fit. And the moment anyone, again, besides me, give my friend a compliment, here goes her mom. Her fat ass and stretched it out. Or, girl, look at that stomach part, or the words, look at that stomach part, or the words are stretched out on the shirt. I also remember a time where my friend was walking through the house and her mom said in front of like 5 people, you used to walk so quietly, now you shake in my house. That shit irks the hell out of me and it pissed me off, especially if it's just us three. She'll be like, baby, you coming down nice, or those fit you good, blah, blah, blah. Now that's the confusing part is mom is bad, pretty and nice, pretty with a nice body, and they have a great relationship. They are always loving on each other and supporting each other. I already spoke to my friend and she agreed that she feels the negative vibes and energy. So it's almost obvious that either number one, friend hasn't said shit or spoken to mom about it, or she have and mom just don't give a fuck because she still be running off at the mouth. I want to say something, but I don't want to come off disrespectful to my aunt or rude and out of line to my friend's mom. Should I speak up to my mom as the niece or stay in my lane as a friend to keep the peace? Okay. Okay. I left my water. Dag. Okay. 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 Number one on the list, congratulations to having a friend turned family. That's an incredibly long time to be friends with somebody, and it seems like you two have a really good relationship. So I really, really enjoy that, especially because it's so good, it can at times make you overprotective of her, which means that you love her very, very, very much. So I can get with that. I can appreciate that. And congratulations to you, because not many people have that, right? That's one. Two on the list is I'm so happy that you guys consider each other's family as family, because sometimes it can also be you and a person can be friends isolated, and then there is the other people in you guys' lives that don't always see eye to eye, have not connected, so on and so forth. So all of those things are positives, right? I think there are also some positives that can contribute to how to approach the situation, right? So let's lay the facts out there. Let's lay the facts out there. Like you said, you and your homegirl have put on some weight. Y'all going on a weight loss journey. And because of the new body that your friend has now, mom is not really sensitive to what she could be growing through when trying to transition out of this new body. And because of that, she can say some mean and harsh things. What I'm going to say to you, friend, is that you have to make assessments. You have to make assessments. You have to make assessments. You have to make assessments, right? You have to look at your friend's personality. You have to look at your aunt slash her mom's personality. You have to look at and observe your own personality and see how approaching this can be beneficial as opposed to hurtful. Number one on the list, it seems like your friend is maybe a little non-confrontational because, like you said, either A, she has said something to the mom and mom just don't care, or B, she hasn't said anything to the mom. Either way, if she has said something or hasn't said anything, If she is not pushing towards the end result being for that to stop, it leads me to believe that she may not be a confrontational person, right? Whereas it sounds like you may have the more of the stronger personality within the friendship. Sometimes when you are the person with the stronger personality in a relationship, the other person who is a little bit more mild-mannered, they are looking for protection within you, right? And you get to kind of pick and choose what way you want to navigate that, right? So if we was in the Operation Heal 100 Heart session 101, I would be asking you, normally is it normal practice for when something is going on with her for you to step in as pretty much her protector? That would be my first question, right? And if that's the role that you have taken within a friendship, this time here is no different, my dear. This time here is no different. If that's the role that you have taken on and it suits you and it's what makes you guys' relationship work, this time here is absolutely no different. So you won't be standing back and allowing this. You will be doing, as what I shared with you initially, assessing everybody's personality in order for you to make this thing run smoothly, right? So, one of the things that you said that I praised you for a couple of minutes ago was that the relationship that you share with not only your friend, but also her family is extremely close. Right. So that leads me to believe that there has been times where maybe you have gone and shared some things with your aunt slash her mom that is private and it's things that you can go to her for advice for, or things you might lean on her for, which is how your relationship got so close. So if that's the case and y'all have that tight-knit relationship, then I probably would be asking if you felt comfortable just going straight to your aunt, right? And the reason why I say that is because I feel like if you try to encourage your friend to do it, there may be an issue there because it seems like she doesn't want to be confrontational with mom. And also, if you encourage her to do it, it may put everybody in an uncomfortable situation. Right. So my suggestion would be, if you feel comfortable enough, and you guys have a close enough relationship, you just go into auntie straight up yourself. Like, hey, I need to talk to you. Right now, once again, we have to be able to assess personalities, because a lot of times when we don't make self-assessments and also assessments of other people, even if they're wrong, you have to try to come to some conclusion about a person so you can know how to maneuver around them. You've been around these people damn near your whole life. So I'm pretty almost sure and can bet on the fact that you know the aunt's personality. And I think you're writing the letter because I think from what it sounds like, the aunt can be a tad bit confrontational. And you don't want to come across, like you said, disrespectful to her by confronting her. It doesn't have to be a confrontation. It doesn't have to be a confrontation. If you take inventory of the type of personality she has and the type of personality that you have, it doesn't have to be a confrontation. All these years you guys have been able to get along. This time is no different. Granted, it will be an uncomfortable conversation, but if done properly and with the best intention, you guys can come out on the other side okay. Right? So my suggestion would be, let's look at what works best for auntie, right? Let's just say auntie is a person who does not like to be dressed in front of other people. This may be a conversation that you want to have privately, right? Let's just say that auntie might receive this a little better if another adult her age is in the room. Maybe you want to invite your mom to get involved and help to translate that message to her where she receives it, as opposed to getting offended, right? Maybe, she's a person that's very facts oriented. So she might need all of the facts laid out for her for the reason why you're coming to her with this. So that's what you bring. Like, hey, I want to talk to you. There's been times that because we're on this weight loss journey together, you have said things that has discouraged her. On Monday, May 9th, the time when we were going jogging, when you made the comment about her walking around hard in a house, she felt like she no longer wanted to go jogging. And this is a part of what we're doing to get her to lose the weight. You know what I'm saying? So she may be one of those type of people where you got to be very detailed and very facts oriented. That's fine. Whatever auntie needs to receive this is whatever you can come forth with if this is your approach. right? Because like I said, we're not saying you're absolutely going with this, but let's just say the approach is to go directly to auntie, right? She may also need to be a person that maybe this won't be a comfortable conversation for her face to face. So maybe y'all need to have it over the phone. Hey, what's up? Let me talk to you, auntie. Do you got a minute? And then you just lay it out. FaceTime. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she needs to receive this, then that's what you need to give to her. I'm going to take it a step further. I have assessed personalities who can't receive things unless it's actually happening to them. So maybe that's something else that you can do. And granted, this approach is a little tricky because it depends on the personality. If a person receives stuff well this way, and only if you know that as a fact you take this approach, if not, don't do it because it can go left. I've seen people, I've literally sat in conversations with people and I'm trying to explain to them how maybe they could have been offensive to another person or disrespectful to another person. And they're looking at me like I'm crazy because for them, it's like, well, I wouldn't have got mad if somebody said that to me. You know what I'm saying? You know those type of people, and they going all around why what they did is okay. So those type of people, I've learned those personalities. Okay, I have to literally show you what it feels like, and then when you say, "Wow, that wasn't nice," or "That hurt," or "That was me," I can say, "Oh, it was." Okay, that's what I was trying to get you to understand when you did it to somebody else. So that's another thing. She may have that type of personality where she only can receive things well if it happens to her. One of the approaches that I would take, and I'm only just saying this generally because I do not know the woman personally, but this is just a general approach for me. I would more so approach it from the standpoint of the positions that these people play in each other's lives, which is you're the mother and that's the daughter. Right. And in all fairness, I don't give a damn if the daughter's 50 and you're 70. At the end of the day, that's your child. Right. And what I know that parents have made it abundantly clear to me that they need to do is protect their children. Right. That's one of the end all be all things that I've learned that parents want to do, protect their children. So one of the ways that you protect one of the ways that you protect your children is by safeguarding their feelings. Where you have a whole world of people who want to hurt your child and mistreat them and be mean to them, you are where they go for their safe space, their safe haven. This is where they come for their comfort and their love, right? And if they don't receive that from you, I can almost imagine that they go out in the world and allow other people to treat them equally or equally as bad or even worse because look at the way you treat them. So if nothing else, the approach could be, let's take all of that off the table and look at it for what it is. You're her mother. You're her mother. So saying mean and harsh and disrespectful and hurtful things to her, they hit her different than anybody else in the rest of the world saying it to her. Because guess what? Your mom. Your mom. And one of your goals is, mom, according to all the mothers and the fathers that I know on this planet, is to protect your child. You never want to be the person that's putting your child in danger or in harm's way. And not safeguarding their feelings is an absolute surefire way to do so. Okay? One thing that I do know is that when you are abused in a home, and I don't want to say it's not just physically abused, sometimes people are emotionally abused. You go out in the world and you do one of two things, if not both. Either one is that you allow everybody else around you to treat you like shit because you've been getting treated like shit for so freaking long, or you impose that same nasty, disrespectful, painful, traumatized, hurt behavior on other people. You know, I know some people who do both. I know some people who do one or the other. Either way, those are not good things to do or become or a good way to behave because it doesn't benefit you in the long run. Also, it isn't true and essential to who you are because you're only working and operating from that space because it's your trauma. So you can also approach mom in the aspect of, you're her mother. You're her mother, and what you say means everything to her. It bothers her. It gets to her. So if you're going to address her about something, how about having some compassion in doing so? Because your approach can sometimes really, really break her and hurt her. Right? But I want to ask another question, friend. I want to ask another question, and this is where the Operation Heal 100 Heart session would benefit you, right? Because now we're going to bring this all the way back full circle to you. Is it a fact that your friend is this hurt and offended about what mom is saying, or are you more hurt and offended about what mom is saying? And is it because it may be something personal for you, or is it because you're just overprotective of your friend and what she's saying is something that would offend you if it was said to you? Because also there's a difference there as well. You know, you could also be operating from your own space of trauma and your own personal feelings and now imposing that on the other person. So before we go approaching anybody about anything, let's make sure that these are honestly her feelings. And I know that you shared in your letter that, you know, you and your friend spoke about it and she said she could feel some of the negative energy. Does she give a fuck about it? You know, does she care about it? Is this something she's used to? Is this something that normally happens? You know what I'm saying? Because it could also be that my mother always been like this. So listen, that shit don't bother me. It may just be bothering you because the type of person you are. It may just be bothering you because the way you was raised. You may have been raised in a very loving and compassionate household. So to see a daughter treat another mother that way can be a trigger for you. So let's make sure that we are not going to advocate or speak up or confront or any of the above this woman about something that really and truly is not an issue for the person you're saying it's an issue for, but more so an issue for you. So I want you to take a deep dive into that, and I want you to really, really think about that before you go jumping out there to save your friend, when really and truly, who knows if she really absolutely needs saving. And if you do feel that she does, then by all means. What I will say and what I would like to do, right, is I would like to ask you, if trying to have this conversation with your friend, if you realize that, you know, she's non-confrontational in a situation that's hurting her, I would have to ask you to ask her to look into getting an Operation Heal 100 Hearts one-on-one session. And the reason why I ask is that I personally have been viewed as confrontational, but most times I'm viewed that way because I'm excellent at setting boundaries. So where I'm in places, I'm sometimes and oftentimes in places where people want me to go along and get along, I'm letting them know that I'm not doing that. So now I look like the odd man out the bunch because guess what I'm doing? I'm setting boundaries for me, right? And for your friend, if this is honestly and genuinely hurting her, right? Not you, her, right? And she's refusing to set a boundary there, then that's a deeper issue. And it's also not mom's issue, it's her issue. It's also an issue that needs to be addressed, right? And she doesn't become a better woman if you are there addressing all of her issues. She's an adult. She needs to be addressing her own. You know, and as a supportive and protective friend, you need to have her back when she does so, not all the time do it for her. Okay? So once again, I want to clarify. I want you to dig deep and say, listen, let me figure out, is this her issue or is it my issue? Right? And also another thing that could be the case, and you can let me know this as well, is it could also be that it could be your issue too, but it's only your issue because your friend has shared as an issue for her, right? And that's another thing that's with any relationship. If you have a good relationship with a person, when somebody does something to offend them or hurt them, you feel it. You are third party offended, even when you don't want to. You are. It's human nature to have that emotion when you genuinely care for a person, right? So if that's the third part of it, if this is now your issue because she has shared is her issue, I get that and I respect that. The only problem there is, once again, like what I just shared with you. If initially it's her issue, then initially she's the person that has to solve it. And if you're continuously stepping in for your friend to solve her issues, then you don't help her elevate and become a better woman. You just allow her to stay stagnated under all of the terms that you have set forth, which is, I know when the going gets tough, I don't have to really, really step up and do anything because I have my friend. Yeah, you should have your friend. You should have your friend to support you while you advocate and set boundaries for yourself. That is what adults do. And that's just real bitch shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just straight up. And a lot of times for us people who go around, sorry, I wanted to make sure my mic was on because I would have been mortified to be sitting here recording all this time and my mic wasn't on. But that rings true for all of us, men and women as adults. You must set boundaries. You must set boundaries. You must be clear with your intentions. You must let folks know when something bothers you, when it hurts you. Now, granted, once again, which is why I do Dear Deidre letters and Operation Hill 100 Heart Sessions, there is very clever ways to approach things, right? So, you can go around and find your little strategic ways to make it work for how you want it to work. Beautiful. But in any event, one must never forget the end goal. And the end goal is to make sure in the end, I'm getting what I want. Right? And for you and her, I love the friendship. And I also love that you're a protective friend. But we do not want your protection to become a crutch for your friend because she's not a baby. She's a grown woman. Now, had you had told me this was about your daughter or your little sister, I would kind of be a little bit I would be taking more of a different approach because, they're at the ages in their lives where they do need that covering and that protecting. But this is an adult. This is an adult and she should be covering and protecting herself. And if she can't do so to a point that you have to step in, that means you're a good friend, but in some way, my dear, that also means that you're hindering her. She needs to become a better woman. And in doing so, she needs to step up and advocate and set boundaries for herself. I don't care who is with, mama love included. Right? So, okay, let's run it back. If you are considering, before we even get to you considering approaching mom, let's figure out if this is your issue because you wouldn't like if it was done to you. Let's figure out if you're feeling sensitive about it because your friend says she's sensitive about it. Let's figure those things out. If this is your issue, friend, then mind your fucking business. I'm being very straight up honest with you. Mind your business and come get your healing heart session. Because if this is your issue, then that's not your friend's business or her mother's business. This is your issue to work through as a grown woman. But if you're feeling sensitive about the issue and protective over your friend because she said that she's hurt, then you need to be a friend and show her what it looks like to set boundaries and advocate for herself. And it seems as though you're the type of person that can do so. So trying to model that behavior for her, that needs to start like yesterday, right? And if she tells you that she's just not a person that can do that, or that's just not something that she wants to do, then you need to tell her that you cannot listen to her complain about a situation that she is at the root of and ultimately she's causing and allowing. What's allowed is what will continue. Okay, so with those two things out the way, and if they're not the issue, and then the end result is you need to approach auntie, then you need to figure out what works best for auntie, right? Don't only think about you and don't only think about your friend. You have to consider auntie because what you said in the end of the letter is you signed it with, I don't want to be disrespectful, right? So that lets me know you don't want to have issue with your friend's mother, aka your aunt. So because of that, she must be considered first because she's the one being approached and confronted. So a conversation must be had with her in a manner that suits her. It must be had in a way that she will be able to receive what you're saying, even if she doesn't agree with it. Right? And at that point, my dear, when all else fails, whoever needs Operation Hill 100 Heart Sessions, tell them to reach out to me and let's make it do what it do. It may be mom. It may be mom. Mom may be, I heard you say in the letter that mom is a beautiful woman with a beautiful body, right? Sometimes, not all the time. Let me be very clear because I don't want anybody to get offended. But sometimes most people are extremely focused on the way they look physically because they may have had a hard time and got teased and so on and so forth and been made fun of and had harsh things said about them. So they want to make sure that that's never done again. So maybe mom is just repeating some behavior that was exposed to her. You never know, and having that conversation with mom can open the floodgates for all of that to come out if that's the case. She may just honestly say to you with no malice at all, I didn't even realize I was doing it because when I was young, that's what my mother did to me. That's what my aunt did to me. That's what my grandmother did to me. So for me, I thought it was normal behavior. That it's a lot of ways that dialogue can go for it to be strength-based for everybody involved in it. But it's really contingent upon the approach and also the intention. And like I said, if you're going in it with the intention of saving your friend, she needs to save herself. If you're going in it with the intention of taking it personal because this is really your issue, you need an Operation Heal 100 Heart session. But in any event, if you're going in it with good intention towards auntie, a lot of positives and a lot of strengths could come out of this situation as a result of it. Right? So, my dear, I hope I was able to cover the bases for you. I hope that I'm able to assist and help in a way that will make these relationships continue to flourish, because I would hate to see any of you have to separate or there be any negative confrontation regarding this. And if you feel in your heart of hearts that this is not going to go well and you have the best intentions and you really don't know how to land a plane, if all else fails, come to Operation Heal 100 Hearts. Everybody, come get your session. And let's see how we can make this thing work. All right, my dear. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for writing. And I love Dear Deidre letters. They always give me perspective and time to think. And, it gets my little juices flowing like, okay, how can I help in the situation? How can I heal? How can I make things better? Am I making things better? So you let me know your feedback. I love, and appreciate you for writing in. All my new subbies, look at God. Look at God. Ironically, one of my zeros fell because I had 3 zeros for 1,000, right? But let me tell you guys the beauty in that. In about maybe 6 more Dear Deidre letters, I will be at my 100th Dear Deidre, right? So I'm keeping this 1 and these 2 zeros because that's going to be another celebration. Come on, God, with celebrations in this season, right? So I'm so thankful and grateful to everybody who's been supporting me and showing me love. Please continue to do so. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. It's very important that you hit the thumbs up. That's your free way of supporting my channel and getting me out in the algorithm. Also, the Dear Deidre letter writer. If you want to, I'll take it a step further. Show this person this letter. Show this person this response. If you feel like this might help your friend, her mom, whoever, show it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I love you guys. I love when you weigh in. I always tell you guys, I don't delete and I don't debate. And as long as your comments are respectful, I have no issue with having a discussion, right? DJ, I don't feel like the advice you gave was the best. Give me some viewpoints on why. Share with me if I'm doing something wrong. Let me know if it was on point. I'm open to all feedback as long as it's done respectfully. Once again, thank you guys for all your support. I truly appreciate it. And my dear, let me know if you need me again. Enjoy your day. Why does thing always gotta embarrass me like this? Y'all ain't right.